Ooh, surrealist folktale, welcome. This story was written in 1941 by a great and not well known enough German artist, Kurt Schwitters. Schwitters was born in 1887 in Hanover, West Saxony in North Germany. I first learned of him via an exhibition of his work at Tate Britain, London, in April 2013. I borrowed a friend's membership card, so I got in free. It was inspiring. Schwitters' art is wonderfully everyday, surreal art, collaging advertising slogans and material objects from the consumer capitalist society he far preferred to totalitarianism. Lots of sources call him non-political, like Pete Mondrian, but really his work does embody a worldly liberalism historically embodied from the 12th to the 19th centuries by the Hanseatic League in Northern Europe. Hanover was a part of the Hanse, a trade confederation of merchant guilds in cities and market towns clustered around the Baltic. Schwitters' artwork had been publicly ridiculed in the now Nazi Germany of 1935. His close friends, the Spengemans, had been arrested by the Gestapo in 1936, and Schwitters fled Germany in January 1937, joining his son Ernst in Norway. Now, Schwitters died in Kendal in 1948 after his experiences in 1940 to 41 as an enemy alien internee in the Isle of Man Hutchinson camp during the Second World War. His most famous work, the Mertz Barn, was airlifted in the 1960s from the stone cottage in the Lake District it was made in to Newcastle upon Tyne, where it now resides. I've seen it. It's in the Hatton Art Gallery. It's a towering, odd assemblage that has been well restored in recent years. Visit it yourself if you happen to be in Newcastle upon Tyne under non-lockdown conditions. This is a powerful, very simple, folktale-like short story from Schwitters, which I'm sure you'll enjoy.
The Idiot by Kurt Schwitters. There was once a fisherman who lived all alone upon an island with his wife. They were a God-fearing couple who had never harmed anyone in their lives. At least they appeared to be so. The seas were full of excellent fish and lobster, and the fisherman and his wife were able to live contentedly and in comfort. On the shore of the mainland opposite was a small town in which lived a few fish merchants. They also were as innocent of all wrong as a well-trained house cat, at least to outward appearances. One day the wife of the fisherman said to her husband, "It will soon be time to mow the grass and make hay. We need some help. We also need someone to help with the fishing and take the fish to the town." "That is quite true," said the fisherman. "Well, then, why not employ an idiot? Someone who is strong and willing to work, but hasn't got any brains. The government will give us money to feed him, but he won't know about that, and we will be much better off than we are now." The fishermen agreed that this was a good scheme, so they looked about for an idiot. They soon found one, and brought him to the island, and set him to work. But the wife wasn't satisfied. She said to her husband, "We need money badly. Everything is so expensive, and this is the season we are forbidden to catch lobster. It would be a good idea to catch some now. The tourists are coming, and soon the hotels will be full of them. They become angry if they cannot get lobster. Don't worry about the government regulations. No one will mind because you will be doing good." "What about the idiot?" said the fisherman. "He would tell." "He hasn't got the sense to know there is anything wrong." So the fisherman went out in the darkness with the idiot, and they had a good catch. He was very happy thinking of the money he was going to make. He went to bed dreaming of lobsters and high prices. But the idiot was also dreaming of lobsters and high prices. When the fisherman woke up, he found the idiot, his boat, and his lobsters were all gone. The idiot went to the town, visited the first fish merchant, and said he had some lobster to sell. "I'll take them, of course," said the merchant, "but don't tell anyone about it. You know that it is forbidden to catch lobster now." The idiot promised, took the money, and now they went out together, and the merchant watched him put the lobsters in his pot, under cover of the morning mist. But the idiot did not put the lobsters in the pot, though the merchant could not see this from the distance. Instead, he went with the same lobsters to the second fish merchant. He, like the first, was very glad to get the lobsters, gave the idiot the money for them, and watched him put them in his own pot. And so the idiot sold his lobsters in the same way to the third, the fourth, and the fifth fish merchant, until there were no more left in the town. Then he took them to the communal kitchen, sold them at a very low price, and actually delivered them. At lunchtime, the first merchant heard that the communal kitchen had lobster. Where did it come from? He went to his pot and found it empty. Then he went to the kitchen and said, "Where did you get that lobster? It was stolen from my pot." But they told him the idiot had sold it to them. The second merchant was getting ready to sell the lobster to the big hotel, which needed it for the tourists, but he found his pot empty. He went out into the street, where he met the first merchant, and said to him, "I bought some fish from the idiot. I saw him put it in my pot, and now it is empty." The first merchant answered, "Now I know that your fish was not fish, but lobster. For I also bought some from the idiot, saw him put it in my pot, and now find it empty. Let's ask the other merchants if they have been tricked too." They all met, and they decided that the idiot must be sent away. One of the merchants got out his boat and went over to the island and complained to the fisherman that the idiot had cheated him, and that he, being his master, must pay for it. The fisherman said he couldn't take responsibility, for the idiot had stolen the lobsters from him. The merchant realized that there was nothing to be gained by accusing the fisherman further, and said the idiot must be sent away. In the meantime, the idiot went to a public house, and for the first time in his life went into the saloon bar. He drank so much that he was convinced it was the best day of his life. He thought so all the more when a small and very pleasant lady called Rosa came to help him drink, though he didn't notice that she took the rest of his money when he was drunk. But the barman did, and as the idiot's company was no longer wanted, when he had no money left, he was thrown out. Now he began to regret all the things he had done, and so he tried to lean on a wall and began to think of the future of his soul, and all the good things that were in this world and the next, when along came a lady from the Salvation Army. She knew the idiot, and she saw he was drunk. "Do you regret what you have done?" she said. And as he regretted, she invited him to drink coffee and eat cake at the Salvation Army Hall. Soon he was singing piously, chanting rhythms in praise of God, convinced that everything on earth is as it should be, and that it would get steadily better and better, and still better. When he finished, he took the boat and rowed back to the island, feeling quite depressed. The fisherman was standing on the quay, and the idiot was afraid that he would be severely punished. The fisherman told him to come inside, where he gave him coffee and cake, for he was a very good man, or at least he appeared to be. "I am not angry with you, my good fellow," he said. "You have annoyed the fish merchants, who have annoyed me so many times before. Have some more coffee."